Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you're joining us from, and welcome to another episode of Mailbag, brought to you by the iFlip YouTube channel. I am your host, of course, Aaron Yoon, and joining me, of course, is my co-host, Lee Gearhart. I have to let him in, of course, in order to do that. Switch that around a little bit. How are you,
All
Lee?
good. Great. How are you?
Good. It's been a while. It feels like it's been a while since we did this, right? Because we had that
Yeah.
extra week off.
Well, it feels like you're always on here, but I feel like I haven't done this in a long time. I feel like a newborn child again.
Yeah, well, we like to mix it up and keep things fresh around here. So, welcome. Oh, Randy, you're watching. Great. Thanks. Always nice to have part of our team members tuning in. Okay, so let's get right to it, folks. There's a lot to cover tonight, and so we're just going to jump right in. Just a heads up, half of tonight is going to actually be a your typical Q&A, and of course you're welcome to dialogue and throw in any kind of questions in the chat here. This is more interactive than the AI circles. But half of tonight's show is going to be a lot of special treats. And we have a really cool special announcement, actually a couple of cool special announcements coming up for you. So make sure you stay till the end. All right, so let's get the show on the road here. And let's start off with our first question for the evening. Our first question for tonight is a two-part question. Where can I see my AI transactions, and how do I know what the AI is doing? It's a very legitimate question. You want to know, obviously, how the AI is managing your capital. So, Lee, can you take us through this?
Yeah.
Get you back on screen here.
Yeah, happy to. I'm actually going to share screen if that's all right with you guys. Oops.
You got it.
Clicked the wrong button. I disabled my video. Just like I said, the newborn child. All right, let's share this one. All right, so we should be good to go here. So what I just went to is the activity section inside of our platform. Now there's a few different ways to see the activity that the AI has been doing, I guess, for you lately. At default, it's just going to have all your transactions right here, but I just filtered it to AI. As you can tell, I got into the conservative portfolio a little while ago. That was on April 10th, actually. So I repositioned a few things and the AI started working for me. I've bought a bunch of things lately in conservative. So I've been listening to the words of wisdom from a lot of folks around us and decided this is the best place for my money right now. So this is one place that you look at it. I'll just give you a bonus as well. Why not? So in conservative here, this is that portfolio I was looking at. Give me 1 second. All the way at the bottom, it's actually going to have history, as you can see right here. We might actually not be able to show you. I have a lot of things going on my computer. There we go. So in this history section as well, it gives you a little bit of, hey, this is what we bought. These are the dates, and this was the price as well. So a couple different ways to look at it. I prefer the activity over here. It just gives me a nice rundown, list. It's almost like a history section, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're just interested in the one Smartfolio, then you go to the dashboard, and that's a really good place to look. But if you have multiple Smartfolios and you want to see all of the activity across all of your Smartfolios, the activity tab is probably the better choice. Now, I think let's bring up the question once again, because there is a second part to that question that I think is very relevant at this point in time. How do I know what the AI is doing? And I think we get this question quite a bit because as right now, at least for the past year and a half, I talked about this with Kelly the other day on the AI Circle. If you're only using our Smartfolios, it kind of seems like the AI hasn't done much in over a year. It spent, which was a good thing in 2022. It saved you a ton of money Most people lost close to 20%. Some people lost way more than that because they were way too aggressive. And for us, we lost single digits, low single digit, under 5% for most of the Smartfolios. I won't get into too much of the detail with that, but we saved you a ton of money. The Smartfolio AI saved you a ton of money. And I didn't do anything. The Smartfolio AI saved you a ton of money. But it also, now with the market kind of look like being positive for the year is almost, we're in the second quarter now. People are asking the question, how do I know what the AI is doing? Because it looks like it's doing nothing. And I can tell you on the back end, it's kind of like looking at a car. Like on the outside, it just kind of looks pretty, and what you see is like the nice fresh paint job and the wax. It doesn't look like quite that much, but underneath it, especially if it's like an electric car with a lot of bells and whistles, there's a ton of stuff going on underneath the hood. And I can promise you, the AI is doing a ton of work underneath the hood. The decision to stay out of the market is after doing multiple calculations every single day. And it's like, nope, it's still not good enough. Still not good enough. That's the conclusion that it's drawing every day, even though the algorithms are saying, hey, this is a good buy price. This is a good buy price. The AI has been overriding it, saying, nope, it's not quite good enough. So the decision to stay out of the market, although it's very consistent, and I understand it can feel a little bit boring, is very intentional, and there's a lot of math that goes on behind that. So going back to the question, how do you know what the AI is doing? Well, the answer to that is you got to tune in to these shows. That's why we have these shows. If you're curious as to what your portfolio is doing, what your Smartfolio is doing, it's engage with us. Leave a comment on our videos. Send us a question into mailbag at iFlipinvest.com. Let me bring this up here. Send us an email. We intentionally leave all of the calculations and indicators and all that kind of stuff that the AI uses. We leave that invisible to you guys on purpose, because it's very overwhelming, and not everybody. We're not trying to be the technical analysis nerd kind of like overwhelm you with data type of service. We want to just provide you simple results and be able to explain them and answer any questions, and we want to engage with you. So to answer this question, the real answer is email us, engage with us, leave a comment, follow us on our socials, especially YouTube, like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and send us any question you have. Just send us an email to mailbag at iFlipinvest.com. Okay, now on to the next question. Our next question for the evening, also pretty simple, is how do I withdraw money from my Smartfolio? Yeah. Lee, I pass it over to you.
I'm going to share screen again and hopefully not turn off my my video. There we go.
Got it.
The tab moved on me. So I'm back. I'm in that same conservative portfolio. So right here on the right side there, it has the invest and withdraw button. So whichever one's highlighted, that's like the action that you're going to make, if that makes any sense. So if I have this highlighted and I enter an amount right here, that's me investing more money into this conservative portfolio. If I want to withdraw, we have a couple options, and we'll kind of qualify this in a second, I think. But this shows me the amount that I have to withdraw out of this portfolio. Now, I guess, it somewhat depends on what the person is trying to do, when they're withdrawing, because if you're just pulling the money out because you think the market's going to go down, well, that's what our AI's job is to do for you, to make sure that you're not invested during that time. So if you're with us and you're obviously trusting the AI to make these decisions for you, then in my opinion, I'd keep letting it do its thing. Let it keep me out of the market. Now, there are certain situations, like maybe you've been listening to the AI circles and you're like, ooh, there's a lot of talk about this conservative portfolio. Maybe I want to switch some things around. Then the first step to that is withdrawing from the portfolio you're currently in. that you choose to get out of, and then you reinvest it into a different portfolio. So I guess I can't say it's a good or a bad thing to do, but that's how you do it. And the reasons why you might do it can be many, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, let me fix this up. Absolutely, Lee. Thanks for that. Now, there might be many different reasons why you might want to withdraw money from a Smartfolio. Maybe you just need the cash for something else. I know that I remember a few friends of mine were they wanted to withdraw all of their money out of iFlip, and I was like, why? And they're like, well, we're buying a house. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like, so depending on your personal situation, there might be many reasons, but at the same time, I know, especially right now, going back to the previous question, a lot of people are looking at this as they want to withdraw because they feel like they can make money somewhere else. And that is where, I mean, again, we can't give advice or anything like that, but I might ask the question, well, what do you think that you have that is better than the iFlip AI currently? Now, if it's a personal thing, like you're buying a house or something, great. But if it's like you want to make a manual move, I personally, and I think most of the people that I've talked to agree with me here. The AI is a better trader than most of us, right? Maybe not Kelly, and maybe there's a handful of people that that are better than our AI out there. I haven't met any of them, but I think if that's the case, then it's probably a better choice to leave the Smartfolio as is and divvy it up. Like if you want to make a manual move, and we talked about a manual move that you can make because it's just been so boring this year, right? And check out our video. I'll actually link it in the description below after this goes offline, right? After it's a replay, because we're live right now. But Kelly talks about a couple of moves that you can make, and a lot of them are, spoiler alert, dividend oriented. So if you want to do some manual dividend moves, personally, I'm going to do some of that stuff myself, but I'm going to do it not messing with my Smartfolio money. I'm going to be doing it with additional money, or I'm going to split the difference or something like that. The value that the AI brings, even if it feels like it's doing nothing right now, is just too good. Because I'll tell you what people did do. It's a quick story, and then we'll move on to the next question. When COVID happened, when the market first crashed in February, March of 2020, a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, the world is ending. I'm gonna withdraw my money," and they didn't expect that V-shaped recovery from all the stimulus. No one expected that. They didn't expect that to happen so quickly. And so they were late to get back into the market, right? They were like, oh, they didn't believe that initial rally, and they missed out big time. People who left their money in the Smartfolio, particularly people who are like so busy with personal things that COVID affected in their lives that they didn't have enough time and mental and emotional bandwidth to deal with their stock investments. They like forgot, right, to manage like manually, right, and meddle with their own stock investments. They were the ones that did the best, particularly the people who were in the aggressive portfolio did really well in 2020. So history has shown that the people who set and forget and don't meddle with their Smartfolios do the best. People who try to like get a step ahead and enter their manual edge over in addition to the Smartfolios, usually for whatever reason, it just doesn't work out as well if you were to just set and forget. So not giving any advice, I'm just letting you know that the track record kind of speaks for itself. Okay, now but the question is for you. Do you like to have one Smartfolio set and forget? Do you like to have multiple ones that you're always shuffling around? It's all a personal preference. Depends on your investor palette. So I'm curious about you. Leave a comment. If you're live, then yeah, let me know in the chat. But if you're watching a replay of this, then leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts there. Now, on to our next question. Let's see. Okay, this is not really so much of a question as it is a YouTube comment that we received. So, Lee, I know I showed this to you a little bit earlier, and this is a fun one. I love when people try to scrutinize our AI and pick it apart, right? We welcome that. We welcome that because we're confident that Kelly's 40 years of experience will still hold up today. So let's take a look at this. This person literally says iFlip when he refers to this product. It's iFlip. This product is not needed. You can use a simple 821 EMA cross that will outperform this, because in today's market, you need to be able to, a little bit of a typo there, you need to be able to trade the market in both directions. It isn't good enough to be in when the market is going up and out when the market is going down. You need to be able to profit in both directions. Losing less than what the S&P loses is still a losing proposition. Now, I'm curious, before we get into this, how do you feel about this? Just sound off in the comment sections right now. Oh, Denise says set and forget works for me. This is in relation to the previous question. Thanks for that, Denise. How do you guys feel about this comment here? Do you feel like you're missing out on profiting to the downside, and you feel that iFlip should be offering profits and the ability to trade and make money in both directions? Sound off in the comments. Now, Lee, I'm going to ask your opinion on this first, though. Let me get this out of here. When you read a comment like that, and I know you and I, we've both gotten a ton of this kind of stuff at events, on email, and when we network with people. What do you say to someone like this that has this kind of a comment?
There's a lot to unpack there. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah.
part of it to me rings like the grass is always greener elsewhere type thing. Like whatever I'm doing must be, whatever someone else has to offer. This is really the opposite of that. But whatever they're doing is not nearly as good as what I'm doing. And I mean, that type of comment leads me to believe they wouldn't want to use our platform, even if it did beat what they were doing anyway. They seem to be more of a hands-on type person, which some people want to be like that. Now, if you want to be tied to your computer and looking at all the moving averages and executing trades on your own, then that could be a good strategy. I would just say though that 2009, a lot of people lost more money then than they trying to short the market than they did in 2008 when it went down. I know you have a lot more to add than that, but that it's the comment, we love the comments whether they're great or terrible. There's usually talking points and different perspective. It's not really about being right per se. What they might be doing might be going great for them, so they could be correct. They don't need our product, but that doesn't mean that 99% of the world doesn't as well.
Right. I think so. I mean, yes, I have lots of comments on this as well, and there is a lot to unpack. But just to piggyback off of the point that you just made, which I think is very valid, is that not everybody wants to be a manual trader. Not everyone wants to learn the skill. The thing about trading that I think that a lot of people overlook, and we talk about this in some of the courses that we did, like our crypto course that we did last year or earlier this, was it last year or this year? I can't even remember. Time goes by so quick. Is that if you're gonna step into the game of manual stock trading or futures trading, options, forex, whatever it is, your only choice is to trade against the best in the world. Like, imagine if you're playing a recreational sport. Like, imagine you're playing basketball or baseball or something, and you're just doing company softball. It's just kind of relaxed. You're playing baseball or basketball. You're just playing a pickup game with your friends, right? But imagine if your only choice of playing softball or baseball or basketball was against professional league players. Like, you're not allowed to play in any other way. It would change the way how serious you take it, right? Because you're up against the best of the best. Now, in trading, that's exactly how it is, but it's invisible because what you're looking at is not the opponent. What you're looking at is just like bars and lines and numbers and stuff. But what's actually happening is a lot of the big banks and brokers, they know exactly what you're doing because they own the application that you're trading on. And so they have a severe advantage. And if you think that a simple like 821 EMA crossover, those like free strategies that you can just download from the internet is sufficient long term, and I mean that's what they want you to think is what I'll say, right? This is the kind of stuff that the banks want you to believe, that hey, you need to be able to profit in both directions. You need to trade on margin. You need to hear, and all you need to do is this 821 crossover. All you need to do is trade a 200-day moving average. Like all you need to do is follow this indicator. It's the holy grail of trading. You click a button and you're going to be rich. That I've gone down that road, and that's their sales pitch, and it's very compelling because in a short vacuum, it looks like you're going to make a lot of money really fast, but long term, you're also going to lose a lot of money really fast. Just like you said, Lee, in 2009, 2008, and 2009, more people lost money trying to short the market and benefit from the downturn than people who just bought and held. People who just took the loss actually did better than the people who tried to profit, who tried to exercise this. So this is a very advanced technique. What he's saying theoretically makes sense, but it's a very advanced technique reserved for only the best of the best of the best traders, and they still do it wrong. We just saw banks fail a few weeks ago. Like SVB, Signature Bank, these are banks, and they failed, right? And so, this is anyone. This is a public comment. It's on one of our YouTube videos. You can see it. You can see our reply to it. I actually asked them, "Can you show me the product that does what you say automatically for the customer, so that like because we might be interested in that." And Crickets. All right, so let's see what people have sounded off. We've got a couple of comments in here.
There's some good ones.
You got some good ones. Who do we got? Okay, so let's start off with the question that we just got and just clarify. Is this program tied to a person? Kelly, Dr. RB, you might, I don't know if you're new here. You don't sound familiar to me, but Kelly Korshak is our chief investment officer. He is the person who designed the AI. It's not tied to him. It's not like he's trading for you. He designed an AI that does it for you so that he doesn't have to. And of course, we're always making improvements because that's the nature of this technology business. You always have to keep up with the times. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Randy, thanks for sounding off here. Playing the downside creates more risk and requires more time and energy. Absolutely. I know this from experience. Short, when you're in a bear market, the volatility goes up, which means that the movements both up and down is very violent. So it's like it's scarier to trade and have a short bias, right? That meaning that you're betting on the market to go down. It's scarier. So you need to be able to stomach it, and most people can't even stomach buy and hold, let alone trying to short, right? It's a very advanced technique. Anyway, any word on custodial accounts? Okay, so I'll get to Bobby's question in a minute. Thomas wants to sound off and chime in. 821 EMA crossover only, nearly impossible to be profitable. I agree. Any one of these like EMA crossover techniques alone is almost never enough to be profitable long term. You need to combine it with other things. Like iFlip looks at the EMAs, but it doesn't only look at the EMAs. It does it in conjunction with other things, and it has an AI to manage it. Right? It's not enough. It's just not enough. All right. Bobby, this is a little bit of a different question. And after this, we'll get into our announcements. Okay. So last one for tonight. Any word on custodial accounts? I emailed the ticket. They're waiting on a response from the brokerage. Lee, do you have any insight on this for Bobby?
We're going through it in the self-directed world right now. It's probably not a answer I can give online right now because it's so long. But we do still have the UGMA and UTMA accounts coming out sometime in the near future. Here, those are basically accounts for minors. As for like IRAs and things like that, has to be done through a custodian like a IRA Club or Horizon Equity Trust, etc. One of those companies that we work with. I won't get into the details as to why, but it should be able to be done through one of those folks here pretty soon.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that because that's such a really cool like life hack. When I heard about it, is I don't have children of my own, but if you're a parent, you should absolutely hire your kids. That's such a cool life hack that I learned. We have a whole YouTube video training seminar on it. I'll link it in the description below for the replay if you want to check that out with a very good friend of ours, Scott Arden, who talks about hiring your kids and then taking the money that you pay your kids with and then opening up a IRA account so they can compound their wealth starting whatever age they are, tax free. That's just a cool life hack. I wish my parents did that for me when I was born. um, okay, so I think that does it. But before we close the knot on this, let me know in the comments section how you feel about a one of those trading bots or crypto bots or anything like that, where the strategy is just a simple RSI crossover or EMA crossover. How has that done for you? If you've used them, I'm very curious to know. Has it worked out for you? Has it not worked out for you? I'm very curious to know. Please let us know in the comments. All right. Now on to the good stuff. All right. Not this one. We have a special announcement for you all. I think that everybody will appreciate this. Recurring deposits are coming. Yes, you heard that right. Recurring deposits are coming tomorrow. I don't know why the dev team decided to release it on 420, what the significance of that might be. But it is tomorrow. You should be able to do recurring deposits either monthly or weekly. Those are your two options. And your other two options are to put it directly into a Smartfolio or directly into cash. I know that this was the last point right there was a particularly important one for a lot of folks because they would make the deposit, have to do it manual, wait for it to clear, and if they forgot, if they weren't paying attention, they'd have to put it into a Smartfolio, like wait until they actually put it into the Smartfolio, and then wait for it to clear again, right? And buy the next day. So there was extra steps. So what we're doing now, and a lot of what we're doing with the app this year, is removing those extra steps that you don't need to do. We're going to streamline the process for you, and this is one such update or upgrade, I should say. And so starting tomorrow, recurring deposits available to you. So let me know how you feel about that. Just sound off in the comments there. Lee, do you have anything you want to add?
I would just say now that tax day has surpassed, now is the time to start thinking about your 2023 contributions into your IRAs. So you could set up $100 a month to go into the XYZ portfolio, whichever one that you want. Don't even have to think about it. And there's, $1,200 you've contributed to your IRA already. So just, mindless things that are going to help you, especially over the long term. So that's really cool. Also, because it's been so long that we were on here, I don't know if we've made a big enough emphasis on it, but now every single Smartfolio has a minimum of $500 because we have fractional shares now. So if you hadn't heard that before, that's been out for a little while now. And regardless of the portfolio, you can get in with as little as $500. You're obviously still welcome to put as much as you want in there, but basically there's no reason why you can't afford a portfolio now.
Absolutely. And speaking of Smartfolios, I'm just going to bring up the an update that we have regarding the Smartfolios. So we're going to call, so the primary set of Smartfolios that I think most of you are already familiar with, we're going to call them core strategies. And you're also going to see this starting tomorrow. This is part of the update. Obviously, the percentage points are 0 because this is just a screenshot of a test environment. But we're going to have effectively the iFlip ABCs, right? Aggressive, balanced, and conservative. And these are already available to you. They're just going to be labeled slightly differently. And those are going to be our 3 primary core strategies. Now, for any new customer, if anybody is a non-iFlip customer yet, right? You're just still kind of, feeling us out, seeing if you want to sign up or not. Starting tomorrow, you will be exposed to the 3 core strategies, and you'll be asked to pick one as your primary investment strategy. People who have already been with us for a while that are veteran users of the software, you might have a multitude of Smartfolios, and we're not really going to mess with that. But if you're a brand new user, we've just found it's a simpler onboarding process. If you pick a main strategy, and then the other Smartfolios, we're going to make updates to them as well, can be counted as ancillary or additive extra strategies. Okay, so we are going to start divvying up the Smartfolios just a little bit. Lee, any comments on the new Smartfolio setups that we're?
Yeah, and those 3 are the ones that you'll want to make your automatic contributions into. So you'll see it, and we'll do plenty of videos and showing how to type stuff with the new platform, because there's literally too many things to even just go over on this show. We could dedicate this whole show to all of the new stuff coming, and we wouldn't have enough time. So just stay tuned. There's a lot of really cool things coming, a lot of it tomorrow. And we actually got a good question as well from Denise. If you want to pin it, there we go. So I don't want to make any definitive answers, because personally I haven't done it, so I don't want to say anything that might be not 100% correct in this situation. At worst, yes, that would happen. 5 months in, it would be at that minimum investment and invest. I have a feeling, though, it might be able to buy little pieces, though, like, meaning, say if we're only in one of the 4 different stocks in there, maybe it'll buy some of that one that the AI has us in right now. I'm not sure, so don't hold me to it. But again, even if it's $100 a month and it sits there for a few months and then gets invested, that's way better than forgetting to make your deposits and never letting the AI do anything for you. So all good things regardless.
Our viewers are so smart. As soon as I make an announcement, they go right to the question that it stumps us completely. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea if that'll actually work. If you can do $100 a month and then let it build up for 5 months, I don't know. I think that's a neat idea, but that's a question for the dev team, and we'll certainly save it maybe for the next mailbag, Denise. Yeah. We'll definitely look into that. We got a couple of other questions here. A lot of engagement tonight. It's always fun to see. Yeah. Dr. RB submits another question asking, starting tomorrow, if we join today, it doesn't apply? Absolutely, it applies. What I meant by that is recurring deposits will be available starting tomorrow. It's right now, as of today, it is not available. Along with that update, we're going to label. Let me bring it back up here. The existing portfolios won't change. Like the conservative, balanced, and aggressive Smartfolios, they're already available to you, but we're just going to label them differently so that they're more obvious to you. Now, if you're a new user and you sign up, you can go through the new onboarding process tomorrow. This will be put in front of you as a way of facilitating your Smartfolio decision making. Because as of right now, up until now, for the past few years, it's just been pick whatever you want, and we've gotten the feedback that sometimes it's a little confusing. Sometimes some people felt like they have to do a lot of homework before they can make a decision, and we're just kind of smoothening that out, right? We're eliminating those extra steps that you need to take.
So just to add a second to that, so because I know Dr. RB said that they're new to us and just kind of learning about us. So I've never said this in my life before, but I would not suggest setting it up right now. I would wait till tomorrow because it's going to be a seamless process that you can knock all out in one sitting versus a 3-step process. So sometime tomorrow, hop on. If you have questions on it, feel free to reach out to Mailbag or even our support team. Someone would be happy to contact you and help you, set up your account and get those automatic contributions all set up.
Absolutely. And I think that we do have one more question for Mario before we get to our grand finale. We are over time a little bit here. Does iFlip pay interest on funds while sitting in cash in a particular, I think Smartfolio is what he meant to say. Lee, do you have any insight on that? I think you're better equipped to.
Yeah, not at this present second. You can do some creative things. I know Kelly talked about it last AI circle. Certain. I hate using the word funds because we talk so bad about mutual funds and things. This is not one of those, but there are certain vehicles, if you will, out there that are basically like a high yield savings account type thing. They have different symbols that you can invest into manually. And, say you want your money on the sideline for whatever reason, you don't even want it in a portfolio, which by no means am I saying that's a good thing to do, but there are ways to still have your money work for you. But as it presently sits, when your money is just sitting in cash, it's just staying there in cash. And the reason being is we just value that liquidity way too much to go put it into a money market and then have to sell those and, liquidate and then get that money back freed up, if you will, to invest into whatever the AI wants to buy. So, in the grand scheme of things, it's not, anything major by any means, but we're always looking at ways to maximize, things for you guys. And that might be something that comes out in the near future.
Definitely. And the only thing I'll add to that is that, yes, you might be looking for something that I think what you're looking for, the reason you're looking for something that pays you interest is you want to make sure your money's always working for you. I think that's the general philosophy for anyone who asks this kind of a question. And I agree with that. We want, especially now with inflation the way that it is, you want your money to be working for you. The way that we achieve that, because we don't actually pay interest on funds like that, we might be able to down the road, but right now we're not able to. The way we accomplish a similar kind of effect, though, is through the conservative Smartfolio, which is very dividend heavy. Or, like I said before, I'll link a video in the description below where Kelly describes some of the dividend type of equities and stocks and ETFs that can achieve a similar kind of thing, where you're going to spend a lot of time in the market, right? And they're designed to kind of not move that much, but pay a solid dividend. It's similar to paying an interest, which is, I know it's different. Interest is guaranteed. I get that, but it's the closest that we can get. Okay, and the last question that we have, hope that helps, Mario, is iFlip unavailable for all of Canada or specific provinces in Canada? We get this question all the time, and Lee, I need I need you to give the latest here. So if banned in Ontario, we could use a VPN. I don't know anything about that. Can you comment?
So it doesn't have to do with VPN or anything like that. It's more identity verification stuff and also regulations in Canada that doesn't allow you guys to move money into something like what we do in the US. So it's not us not liking you guys up north thing at all. It's more of what your regulators, if you will, have put in place to make it just a little bit trickier to invest. Now we do have with that, I'll just keep it quick, but we do have some Canadians that use the platform. Almost always they have some sort of entity in the US that they invest into through. So it's really a corporate account. They might be the owner of the LLC or S Corp or however it's structured, but sometimes there are ways around it. Sometimes there are not.
Thank you, Lee, for that. I can't really comment on this. It's so far, above my pay grade. Let's just put it that way. All right. So I think we covered all the questions. Now let's get to our final announcement. I know typically a lot of you might be waiting for a trivia prize right now, but instead of giving running a contest and giving one person a prize. How about I give everybody here a prize? How about that? Right? And the way that I'm going to do that is with this slide right here. We've been talking about this event quite a bit, our Dallas event coming up in May 4th and 5th. Well, we heard your feedback, and we didn't want something like travel to get in the way of you getting all of this very important and valuable content. So now we are turning the Bulletproof Investing live seminar into a Bulletproof Investing virtual summit. So it is now online on Zoom, May 4th and 5th. The dates are the same, but we're condensing it down to just the meat and what
potatoes.
Meat and potatoes. I had a brain fart on what the saying was. So we're just distilling it down to the meat and potatoes of the content, where it's going to be from 12 to 4 on Thursday and Friday, May 4th and 5th. And it is absolutely 100% free. Now, if you are unavailable because you're working or anything like that, we do have recordings available for you as well, because an online event is just easier to record. So we're making that available to you. And I'll leave a link in the description below. I think it's available right now.
Yeah.
Just go to bulletproofinvesting.ai. Let me just type it in here as well. Just go there, sign up. It's completely free. But you do have to hurry up, because we do have a lot. Ever since we announced this change, we've gotten a lot of signups. And online virtual doesn't mean unlimited, right? Zoom still limits the amount of registrants and seating, so you still have to be quick about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the link right here. It is in the chat. Go right there. That's your prize. Everybody's a winner tonight. Free virtual event. Recording available for as a one time with a one-time fee. All the details are right there on that page right there, bulletproofinvesting.ai. So if there are any questions about that, I'll take them. But I think let's just give everybody a minute to submit any questions they have about the event. Lee, anything to add?
Yeah, and for the folks that are bummed out that they don't get to travel now, we're still going to do a live event. It's just going to be a few months later. So think of this as like the appetizer to what the Bulletproof Investing Conference is going to be like in the fall. And I'm sure we'll release dates here pretty soon. But and everyone who's already signed up, I've reached out to. Feel free to get back in contact with me if you have any questions. I'll reach out again tomorrow just to let everyone know where we stand. But I'm really excited. I think we already have like 300 to 400 people registered for the virtual event. So I'm really excited about it. But like Aaron said, just because it's online doesn't mean that we can have thousands and thousands of people on there, which we would love to. But so just get in there before it fills up, because you probably hear it all the time, but it is true. We have 100 or so seats left, and just like I said, we've already almost surpassed 80-75% of that. So
yeah, absolutely. And it's not a thank you, Dr. RB, saying you're in. Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's not a marketing gimmick. Like I know a lot of people use that trick to generate FOMO, but it's not. We're more than half, like 75% full with the registrations. So you got to hurry up. Just because it's free and online doesn't mean unlimited. You got to reserve your seat. Okay. So you have the link, bulletproofinvesting.ai. It's on the screen there. It's in the description below. It's in the chat, however you want to take it. Sign up for Bulletproof Virtual Wealth Summit. We'll see you there on May 4th and 5th. But for now, we're going to bid farewell. We're way over time. It was a blast hanging out with everybody and talking to everyone here tonight. Make sure, if you like this content, then make sure you like and subscribe to the iFlip YouTube channel. Like the video, hit the notification bell so you don't miss another episode. And we will see you next week with Kelly for another episode of the AI Circle. Good night, everyone.